Brendan Mortensen here from the PNC Digital Desk, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. Orioles pick up a win. Here's Tony Mansolino.
First of all, Dean Kramer, how did he look to you?
Pretty good. I thought once he got the split going, it was probably about the third inning, I felt like he kind of got the split going, and I felt like he kind of took off at that point. So, first came out of the game, a couple good hitters, put good swings on the ball, and throw up a two-spot right away. It is what it is. But then from there, Dean kind of settled down and, got us through six or into the through 5 2/3, almost through six, threw the ball great. But the split was kind of the key tonight. Once the split got going, everything kind of fell into place.
You put McDermott there. Yep. In the first time major league relief, he certainly had his issues there. What'd you see?
Well, he's made quite a few starts in the big league, so it's not a first outing for me by any means. So we're up by 6 runs. We have a bullpen that's taxed in a lot of ways, and everybody needs to pitch right now. So he's very fresh and very available. Up 6 runs, we need him to go out there. He did get the third out. Unfortunately, he got past Sammy before we got a lot of trouble right there. So he hung in there. I thought the stuff was good. I thought the misses were big. So the stuff was good, the misses were big. He ultimately got 3 outs. Unfortunately, the third out got past the catcher. Kind of a tough night for that. Just really unfortunate right there in that inning.
A lot of big nights throughout the lineup. Whose performance maybe stood out the most to you?
I like what Beavers did tonight. I feel like, he's ticked down a little bit here lately, and JJ, and a couple comments have been made to me, what do you think about these guys, kind of going backwards a little bit, and they're supposed to. They're supposed to tick down a little bit at this point. They're not going to hit 350 this year. It's just not how this is going to go in the big leagues. What you're looking for is how they handle failure, how they manage their failure. That's probably one of the most impressive things about Jackson Holiday, is how Jackson manages his failure, and that's why a 21-year-old kid is going to be has been so successful and will continue to grow. Those other 2 kids have the same trait as Jackson, where things are calm between their errors. They're not panicking, they're not spazzing out because they're struggling a little bit. They're managing their failure appropriately, and tonight was a good night for both of them.
The Orioles are going to be eliminated from the postseason very soon, but they've had a really good month and continue to play hard. What do you think it says about this team that they continue to show up and fight every night?
We got rid of half the team on the trade deadline, and we played one of the toughest schedules in baseball since, and we probably played close to 500 baseball with a lot of guys that were in Norfolk for most of the year. So I think that in and of itself speaks plenty of volumes for what we're doing.
Do you think this season, the way it's gone, will leave a bitter taste in some guys' mouths, maybe even in a good way, in a way that could fuel them for next year?
Yeah, yes, it already has. We've talked about it with these guys. They're not happy. You go through the core group in there, they're miserable right now. This has been a complete failure in a lot of ways that we're at this point, that we are being eliminated from the playoffs, and there is a lot of motivation going forward, I promise you that.
That's all here from the PNC Digital Desk, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.